Sure, your UX is fire, but even if it's great, you need user onboarding. And I'm not talking about those annoying product tours, pop-ups, and guides. And in this video, I'm gonna share exactly why even great UX needs user onboarding. Hey friends, it's Randomly John from AppQs. If you want to get the best user onboarding tips and tricks, be sure to smash that subscribe button. There's a myth among designers and product managers that sounds something like this. If you're striving for a great user experience, you shouldn't need user onboarding, right? There's a stigma against learning patterns like tooltips, pop-ups, and guides. And yes, those are often used as band-aid solutions to terrible UX. But these patterns could be your partners in creating a great user experience. The learning layer serves as a unique role in your product, one that's critical for new and even loyal users alike. So I'm going to give you 3 reasons why thoughtful learning patterns makes even the best designed user experience better. First, great user onboarding helps build product habits. When I often hear people say that their product is so intuitive they don't need user onboarding, it's often rooted in a misunderstanding of what user onboarding is. No, it's not the product tour you see or that annoying pop-up. It's a process that guides users from the first stages of introduction, when they know very little about your product, through understanding the what's, why's, and how's of it all, to reaching their aha moment and forming an emotional connection with your product. It's the very first steps to helping new users build product habits and become lifelong customers of your product. That's the main goal of user onboarding. So you could use modals and product tours like Webflow does in their onboarding experience for new users. Or you can try what Typeform does and be a little bit more subtle using hotspots and thoughtful empty states. It's about what your user prefers when it comes to guiding them to seeing the product's value. So you can see even great UX need user onboarding to help users build product habits. Number 2 is users have varying needs. Users' learning needs may vary significantly. Your users might have different roles, different levels of domain knowledge, different levels of technical experience and background, and they might even have different goals. No 2 users will think about your product in exactly the same way. Some users really want to read every single word of your onboarding. I call these folks as investigators. In the previous example, they love Webflow's detailed modals and product tours. On the other hand, some users are more like explorers. They ignore your tours and minimize any help docs you have. They'll skip anything optional. Explorers prefer something more subtle like Asana's hotspots, which isn't in your face, but gives explorers an opportunity to click around to learn more about the product. For each of the different kinds of users you encounter, plot out where they are in their work and compare them to what they'll need in the future. What do they need to learn? What do they need to do? Your job is to close that gap for each of the person. Number 3 is onboarding needs to adapt to frequent change. If you're an agile software company, you'll be iteratively pushing new value to customers every couple of weeks. One of your goals as a company might even be to do that faster and more efficiently. But are you thinking about the impact of each change on your users? Don't forget your onboarding as your product changes. I've done this more times than I can count. Onboarding is kind of like a project that takes a long time to design, a long time to build just right, and it's difficult to continually improve. Great learning support should help users adapt to change. But because great products are always evolving, it should be able to adapt to that change itself. This is where learning patterns really come into their own. All it takes is a single tooltip to turn a frustration into a delightful surprise. One of the most rapidly changing products around is Amplitude. Not only do they release new features or small improvements on a continuous basis, but they also do an excellent job of pointing out those changes so that they're not a surprise to users. Any change feels like a big change when it comes without explanation. Everything that Amplitude releases, whether it's a small addition to the menu or a brand new product, has an appropriate callout that helps users both discover it and adapt to their workflow. That's really top-notch stuff. To wrap it up, you should still strive for a great UX, and simplifying and streamlining your product to be easier to use and learn is really a bad thing. But even if you do succeed at simplifying the product and reducing the need for user onboarding, you'll still need to guide users through moments of change, and that guidance will itself change over time. So you should embrace the experience layer and treat learning patterns as full-fledged member of your product family. You and your users will be happy that you did. Well, that's all for now. What are examples of products that have great UX and user onboarding experience? I'd love to know them in the comments below. Also, if you found this video valuable, share it with your colleagues and friends. Share the love. We've also created a free user onboarding certification course that details how to create an onboarding experience that turns more of your users into paying customers. We got the link below in the description. Be sure to check it out. Don't forget to also subscribe to get the best tips and tricks to improve your product's user onboarding. Check out our other videos as well on user onboarding and product adoption. That's all for now. This is Ramley John from Appcues. See you in the next video.